What is up, Fitz fam? It's so good to be back with you guys again. It's only been a couple weeks, but it feels like Brent and I were just talking. It feels like it's been a lot longer. I was like hunting around for things that I should have remembered exactly where they were here on the StreamYard dashboard. Anyway, regardless, welcome back. It's good to be with you guys virtually. It's so good to see you guys again, virtually, as it were. I said, how many times can we say virtually in the intro? Let's see how that goes. Guys, if you read the intro, you know exactly who today's guest is. If you're in the fencing community, you automatically know Matt, right? Just Matt is the culture king of culture. We should ponder that a little bit. If you guys were at FinTech, you saw us live in the Know Before You Go studio, thanks to the one and only Matt Warner. Matt, how are you?
I am doing great, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I saw, I saw your reaction when I was going culture king of culture. We'll have to work that one
Just,
out.
I'm not big on the word king
Yeah,
because, when I think of the king, I think of JC as the king. So I want to make sure I know my place.
fair,
So,
fair.
and with next week being Holy Week, but the
Yeah,
culture guy,
yeah.
I've been calling myself the culture guy, just simply because I'm so passionate about culture and trying to always improve our own. And when you teach it, when you teach things, you automatically get better, and you are more aware, and you're constantly studying. It's part of my routine in life. Is I get up in the morning and instantly I'm on listening to Jim Rohn and all these different people out there that are trying to talk about Simon Sinek, and I'm always trying to learn and get better. So culture guy, how about we just go with
Okay,
the
okay.
hashtag culture guy?
Yeah, Matt Warner, the culture guy. All right, got it. Matt, how are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm obviously in my remote Know Before You Go studio.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, Dylan Blanc, for the Know Before You Go studio name.
Yes.
I'm in my truck down here in Kansas City.
Nice.
My youngest daughter, Ashley, 17 years old, is basically in her final season of club volleyball, and we're down here playing a tournament down here, and I'm excited that I get to watch her play. I've had to really rearrange some things in my life. You heard me talk at FinTech about putting oxygen mask on myself. This is part of my very serious plan to make sure I'm taking good care of myself and my family first, and then the business obviously comes second. So
Sure.
I actually even changed my Twitter thing where it says God, family, work, keep it that way, just as a reminder to try to stay in line there and keep healthy.
I think this is a big topic, so we'll probably I'll mention it. We can talk about it for a few minutes, but this might be its own. Are these episodes? It might be its own live Q&A, but about burnout. You and I
Oh
had
my.
had a conversation. Gosh, years, maybe 2 years ago now. It was where were we? We're out in Richmond. So that's probably been a couple years or a year and a half. About burnout, just about what it's like and how it sneaks up on you, and sometimes you don't realize you're in the middle of it until you're pretty far down that path.
Yeah, and mine was a combination of growing. Our fence company is growing. Our other brands were growing.
Yeah,
Am I getting a back feed? Do I sound okay?
sound great to me.
Okay. Um, our brands are growing, so with that, I was really grinding it and going, and then we had a couple people get hurt really bad. One got ran over with a lull and broke both of his legs, and mentally, it really wore me down. I didn't even realize it, and with some things that happened in my childhood of not being able to protect my mother and do some different things, I didn't realize without getting some extra help that my brain just was not being wired correctly. So, and I don't want to go into that whole thing.
Sure,
I don't.
sure.
I want to keep this upbeat and positive and exciting. So, my
Yeah,
message, I guess, to people out there is when you feel that coming on, reach out to a friend, because sometimes you don't have a person within your company or your inner circle that can help you with that, but there is people out there that will listen.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us business owners and leaders to find somebody to talk to. But you have to get that out. You have to verbally put it out. You have to write it down. I've been writing. I've been doing a lot of writing lately. It's been a big thing for me of putting things on paper.
Yeah.
My feelings, my emotions, where we're at in our company, and I've been trying to do a better job of even once in a while writing my wife a note that I love her.
There you go. There you go.
So
There you go.
little
I like
little
that a
bit
lot.
of, I guess we should stick to fence and not life, huh? Or do they go hand in hand?
Well, they do. They do. I think. I think it's easy to get really wrapped up, especially, just especially as success comes. You kind of get. It feels good to be successful, right? So you want to do more of it, and you kind of throw yourself into it. But like I said, I think that's its own. I think that's its own time to talk about it. But I don't even know
Right.
how we got on that subject. But
No.
tis the season. I mean, we're coming up to spring and summer where everyone just gets covered
Yes.
up.
Yes. Yeah. The balance. There is no. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to find the balance." I'm going to tell you, there is no balance.
Yeah.
You go way this way, and then you go way that way, and you're constantly trying not to fall off the balance beam, but you're always putting your hands up and trying to catch yourself going one way or another. And holy cow, when the spring comes, I love it. I have a guy on my team, is Henry, and every August I get lots of anxiety, and jobs are behind, and I'm struggling because things are going 100 mile an hour. And he always says to me, 2 years in a row, he's done this. He's like, Matt, it's August. We're busy. And you know what? We'll be busy next August. And we were busy last August. It's August.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness. Yes. Calm down. All right. Everybody relax. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to do my breathing skills and so on.
It's all going to be okay, sort of thing.
So culture. Let's talk
Yeah.
a little bit about culture. What are you doing in your company for culture?
Well, so we took kind of a page out of your playbook. We do Final Fridays, which that was yesterday. So the last Friday of the month, we all have lunch, break bread. We actually made tacos yesterday, and we made them because a nationwide chain that provides taco catering just canceled the order yesterday morning. They said we're not going to be able to do it. We're too shorthanded. So we made our own tacos yesterday. So that was fun. And we all just sat around the table, broke bread. We talked about, so in these meetings, we talk about kind of state of the company, what we did this month. Well, now it's last month, but what we had done that month, what's coming up the next month, so that, because as the team grows, it's easy to get siloed. Right, so the field ops guys all stay together, and then the fabrication guys all stay together, and then e-commerce all stays together, and so people get really segmented, or they can. Mm-hmm. And the field guys, they like to come in early and get off early, right? So they get here about 6 and they leave about 2, whereas everyone else is 7:30 to 4. So then there's kind of a mixed match there. So anyway, it lets us all sit down and say, all right, guys, here's how many feet of fence we built this month. Here's kind of where we should have been, or our goal. So if we were over goal or under goal, whatever that looks like. Here's what's coming up next month, which does a couple things. It lets the field guys know what kind of, now the team leaders we're already having these conversations weekly, so they know what's coming up, but now everybody knows what's coming up, right? And also the fabrication guys. So say, hey, we've got this many feet of fence on the books for next month. We've got this many gates, this, and this. So fabricators, I need you to know, this big gate's going to Scott, this gate's going to Victor. When you get the stuff pulled, go ahead and tag it, make sure it's ready for them. Or if you have questions about it, you can reach out to them directly, sort of thing. So the fabrication shop knows what's down the line. That way they don't just come in on Monday morning like, all right, guys, we got a 53-foot cantilever gate to build today. They go, we're doing what? Oh, okay. So at least they know, when they do come in Monday and we say we've got a 53-footer, like, oh yeah, that's for the TA and that's for Victor. Okay, yeah, got it. We knew that was coming. We cut the pipe up last week when it was slow. Anyway, so we keep everyone on the same page, and then e-commerce usually shares what's going on with them, because the way our facilities set up. It's like a lot of little different areas, and so e-commerce is kind of over. Eric's over kind of on his own, and so he gets segmented from everybody else.
Oh yeah.
So we do let him out on Fridays. The final Friday, we let him out of there, and he can come see everybody else. No, but lets him check in with everybody. So, because no one really goes over to that area and doesn't see this amount of fittings he's shipping out on a daily basis. So lets him share that with the team a little bit. We talk about pre-stain and anyway, just state of the company.
Right.
Let's give everyone a chance to talk. So to talk and ask questions. To ask questions is the big thing. Because so we've got a separate company now, Wireworks, and those guys are separate from everybody, right? So we had kind of a good conversation yesterday about how Wireworks is going, some struggles we're having over there, and we actually kind of did a here's what's going on and who's got some ideas for it sort of thing. So
Good.
keep everybody plugged in. So that in response to your what are we doing for culture, that's one of the things. Kind of the overall theme of our talk today is going to be like recruiting, hiring, and that sort of thing. I think culture starts at that initial interview. So we've been having interviews. We're hiring for a few positions right now. One of them's an admin. Another one's just a general team member. And in those interviews, actually, we're bringing on new admin on Monday. We went ahead and had a few interviews, but I think culture starts at the very beginning, right?
Yes.
So by the time someone gets to the interview, we've done all of our due diligence as to who they are and where they've worked, and we've checked references and things like that. And that's what we tell them right up front. So, hey, at this point, the credentials, everything checks out professionally. We're a good fit. Now we want to just talk. Like, we want to learn more about you personally. What do you do outside of work? Like, what do you like? What drives you? What motivates you? That sort of thing. Just to see what makes them tick and see if they're going to be a good fit for the culture that we're trying to build. Yeah. And then we go from there. And it's off to the races.
So tell me this, Joe. How right now, when you're looking to hire, where do you go to do that?
Well, we might not have enough time to talk about all of the places because there's like half 100 places anymore that you post to. So
Right?
we start with Indeed.
Yep.
That's been.
And by the way, they are the giant. They are
Yeah.
the giant.
Yeah, we start with them because, like you said, they're the giant. We've used them before successfully, so we know we've got good experience. It also makes it nice that they save your previous job posting, so you can pull it and make it
Right.
relevant and current, and then repost it. Facebook, we post a little bit on Facebook. I have mixed feelings on this though on Facebook because to me, Facebook is really like a client-facing platform. And potential client-facing platforms. So we go back and forth on this. It's like, do we want to spread the message that we're bringing on new team members? Now, for the admin, I don't mind that but
Sure.
for team members, for just general like installers or anything like that, does it spread the message that like we might be sending somebody brand new to your house on Monday? Or I don't. We go back and forth. Sometimes I win this argument. Sometimes I lose it, and I'm fine either way. But
Do you use
Facebook.
anything like Monster or LinkedIn?
Yeah, Monster, LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, we just started recently. I don't know why I hadn't considered it. Glassdoor. Yeah,
Yep.
Glassdoor. I almost said Glass Slipper. That's an entirely different.
That's not it.
That's not it. Glassdoor. Now there's half 100 different platforms, and so Sarah was going through like all of these. Here's a problem with this. Well, it's good because they each are good at finding people differently, right? And they each dial it in differently. The problem is you got to keep up with all of them, and so
Yes.
you want to talk about a full-time job. I mean,
Right.
and by the way, it's spring, which means a couple weeks ago our phones basically turned back on, right? So the phone started ringing more. We're doing a bunch of bids. We're doing a bunch of project management. And now we're trying to keep an eye on 5, 6, 7 different platforms that now we do organic posts on all of them except for Indeed. Indeed, we've had good experience doing paid listings. The problem with the paid listing is you have to either accept or decline within 72 hours. where you get
Yes.
charged for it.
So that's
So
their new business model.
makes
Now,
sense. That
I, 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 I'm going somewhere with leading you down this crazy trail
yeah.
because I have, oh my goodness, for your listeners, I think this is going to be a great thing. But I want to set this up, and for all
Okay.
the listeners out there, and I'm hoping that if people are downloading this episode and listening, because a couple things I've learned. One is you have to be careful um, about watching all these different platforms out there, like Indeeds and stuff, because if you don't click on that thing in 72 hours, you're going to get charged for it. So
Yeah.
when we were at FinTech, we got charged $500, and it was like boom, just like that. Now we ended up getting one person out of that, so in my mind, it's justifiable. Blah blah blah,
Yeah.
so on. But also, I want you to know something else, and fence people out there in the world, listen. I'm going to tell you a secret about what else is going on out there. And I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this, if I'm going to get blackballed by Indeed or what, but there, anybody that applies for your job, they're also sending that person down the road to apply for 5 other
Yep.
jobs, trying to get
Yep.
more revenue. That's their revenue
Yes.
model, which is, I don't think, very nice. But
It feels a lot like selling leads.
yes, and there was a great big company out there that was selling leads, doing the same thing, saying that they weren't giving them to anybody
Yeah.
else. They weren't, and they got in a class action lawsuit. So
Yeah, it's still ongoing, yeah.
yeah, and I want to be a little bit careful about what I say. I don't.
Yeah.
The last
No.
thing I want to do is get blackballed on the YouTube channel or
No, yeah.
or get you in any trouble. But here's where I'm going with this, Joe.
Yep.
I also think that when you're going to buy a vehicle, you don't start looking the day you have to have one. If you want to get a good
Yeah.
price on a vehicle, you have to start looking 6-8 months ahead of time, so you have time to purchase. The worst thing is have to do is buy a car when your motor blows. Your motor blows,
Yeah.
you're like, I gotta have a car right now, and you make rash decisions and you just plug them in. So I think, and this has been something that we've just decided to do 3 or 4 years ago. We just hire year round. We never
Okay.
stop hiring. Everybody's like, oh, you got to ramp up for seasonal. No, if I find a good guy, if a good guy's out there and it's not a busy season, Joe, don't you think you want to plug that guy in
Yeah.
and get him
Yeah.
trained ahead of time?
Well, and this is always kind of the chicken and the egg, right? It's do you build the business up and then hire to fill that, right? Or hire to catch up, or do you hire ahead and build the business to those strengths? It's always chicken and the egg.
It is. And understanding your RPP is super important. Now is when you
Yep.
ask me, Matt, what's RPP? I
Hey,
know
hey,
you
Matt,
know.
what's RPP?
Revenue per person. Now,
Okay.
I don't know if I taglined it that, but I'm a big acronym guy. And I think once you understand your RPP, you can actually constantly be judging where you're at revenue wise. And what you do is you take your forecasted work. And I want to get to the point because, man, I'm so excited to tell you about what I have to share with you. And I see it's 10:24, all right, and I want to keep this thing going, so I'm going to talk really
Sure.
fast. But what you do is you take all your what I call the WIP, work in progress, all the work that we have under contract, and then what we do is we take all the projects that are what we call 80% goes. That means any job that we're looking at or bidding and it's down the road and it's an 80% chance of going, meaning it's a return customer, it's somebody that we like, somebody we done work for. We have more than likely we're going to get the job, but it's not under contract. And then I share those with my team and I say, hey, look, our RPP is at this, meaning we probably need to bring some people on because our RPP is really high, but we want to have an RPP that's really high. I know I'm talking really fast, but I want to get to the point. But I'm trying to tell everybody out there, listen, you have to be trying to hire year round, and you have to constantly be evaluating your company, whether you're a 5-person company or we are officially at 91 people. And I told my team, I said, listen, I know we need 10 more people. We need 10. We need 4 more crews, and we need 2 more people to help us execute job execution on the front end. Okay, I'm going to get to the point, Joe.
Okay.
Fence family. I love to save time. That's why I built mySalesman. I love to be efficient. I think I'm really, really passionate about knowing the value or the ROI on my time.
Sure.
I have found a partner in the industry. mySalesman has partnered with a partner in the industry. It's called HireClick.
Yeah.
We just got the deal done last week. I sent you a link last night, Joe. This is it. Fence industry. Go here. Click on this. It's a monthly subscription, and we've negotiated for mySalesman customers and for anybody that comes through us. And Joe, I even made another one, but this is through the
Yeah.
mySalesman thing that Scott made for us. And by the way, HireClick did this for me for the fence industry. It's $99 a month. Now,
Yeah.
there is all kinds of different levels and add-ons
Sure.
and different things, and you can pay up to $200 a month. But for the fence industry and for the mySalesman customers, it's $99 a month. It is month to month, and there's no contract. But I'm telling you all, you need to have this going all the time. What this does for you is you can put together your hiring process, and it sends it out on all the platforms for you on your behalf. Facebook, Monster, Indeed, LinkedIn, Glassdoor. There's several more. And Scott is working on a new deal where he's going to have a QR code where you can print that QR code for you, and it's all part of the $99. That he'll give you a QR code that way you can put that on your truck, so when people see it, you can say hiring now, and people can click on it. And there's more. There's more. We are also going. He's going to HireClick builds you your own portal for all of your people to apply on to put the link on your website. Now, I am so excited about this. I've been beta tested, or not beta tested. The HireClick's been out there. I want to bring it to the fence industry. I'm passionate about this. This is going to save you time. It's $99 a month, or it's $999 for a one-time fee for the whole year. We're going to just go ahead and pay the $999 because I want to be looking for somebody all year long. And if I can find one or two good key people for $1,000, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
It's a no-brainer. Folks, we have to be looking all the time. That's part of also creating culture. I want to talk to everybody out there that has that one or two people out in their company that can be kind of a pain in the keister. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't hold him accountable, because if I make him mad, he's going to leave me, and then he's going to abandon that crew, and that crew is going to be in trouble. The way to combat that, in my opinion, in Matt's opinion, is to constantly be grooming more people to plug in and making sure you can hold everybody accountable. That also creates great culture. Accountability is key to culture. This new HireClick is going to make your culture better, because you're going to have more people to look at. You're going to have more options to look at. And it does do it a little bit different in Indeed. It works more off the organics. It works more off of that. So it's not the pay per click model. But we've been running it, and we've had great success. We've had 7 people in the last 2 weeks. Excuse me. Of those 7 people, we've had at least 4 that we've actually got to come in for interviews. 4.
Nice. That's massive.
That's
4 out of 7
incredible.
is unheard of. So Matt, I'm sharing right now. You talked
Woo!
about them building out of sight.
I've been waiting to. I've been wanting to share this, and Scott. I keep wanting to call him Steve. Scott, the owner, the co-founder of HireClick. I'm so embarrassed. I called him Steve like 9 times, and he's such a nice guy.
No.
He's like, "Oh, Matt, you can call me anything." He's such a great human. But I'm telling you, fence industry. These are good, wholesome mid-America people. They
Yeah.
want you to win. They're passionate about helping you get good applicants in the door. That's where it all starts. Okay, I'll shut up. Take a drink of water.
No, you're fine. So you had shared this with me last week that this was going to be what we talk about, and I was like, well, this is perfect timing because, well, we had a couple positions ongoing, but we were getting ready to list a third position. So I said, what better way? Before I talk about something on here, I'd like to use it so that I can give real world experience with it.
Yes.
So what you're seeing on the screen share is the page that they built for Ozark Fence, and we had posted a job posting. We're hiring a YouTube editor, a dedicated editor here. So we went ahead and put it up on there. Now, like you said, it shared out with essentially all of the hiring sites. I say essentially because we've got some local ones that work with local universities that obviously they can't plug into all of the local boards, right? But they did give us a URL. They said for all the ones that don't go, post this URL. We've actually created a job board for you. They mimicked our website. So they made it look and feel just like our website, which is what we're seeing. Whoop, nope. Point the other way, Joe. Right there. Yeah. So this is what we're seeing. So right now we've only got one position open, which is the YouTube video editor on this job board. But if you'll notice right under it, we've got general application, right? Because to your point, we want to constantly be recruiting. We want to be hiring. Yes. We want to. If you're a rock star and you have a skill set you think we might need, come on in. Let's talk about it, right? So we could post this URL on any of the local boards, right? The local university boards, wherever we want to put it. I like the idea of the QR code too, because then you can put that just anywhere you want to.
Yes.
But like I said, it mimics our website. Talk about working well. It's worked very well. It's worked too well because now we have a stack to go through, which, hey, good problems. Good problems.
Joe, the key to finding good people is to have a pool to pick from. And I am so excited about this. Fence family, please give this a try. I know it's another monthly fee, but
sure.
In order to understand RPP, you have to build so much revenue. And if you don't get jobs done, and if jobs linger on, the key is to get on a job, get a job going, get a job billed, get a job collected. You have Absolutely. To have good people to keep that revenue moving. This is a steal. This is a bargain. I promise you, this will be a great ROI annually for you.
Well, it has been for us already, and we're less than a week in because now we've got one dashboard that has all the applicants, right? So in the admin position, we were monitoring each of these sites independently. Now, they would also email us all the applicants, but that's a lot to keep track of, right? So then we'd have 4 or 5 different portals we need to log into and see. Now, some applicants applied on several of the boards. So It's like, well, okay, so we only need one of their applications. Let's throw the other 3 out and just to try to keep things organized. It was a mess. It was absolutely a mess. So with this, now we've got one portal, one platform.
Isn't it? It's also for my team, it was a little bit of some anxiety of worrying, oh my gosh, if we don't figure this out in 72 hours, we're going to get charged for it.
Right.
I'm telling you, folks, it's $99 a month.
Yeah.
It's essentially called $100 a month. It's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer, and it is such a powerful tool. I want all of my friends in the industry to look at this, to use it. I can't. The key to success of hiring people is to have a candidate pool.
Yeah.
If you only have 1 or 2 people a month showing up, you're not gonna be able to get there. And so many entrepreneurs out there say, I just can't grow my business. Well, sometimes you've got to just add people. You've got to know when to add people and when to bring them on to get them trained so you can excel things. So I'm excited. I am so excited about this.
When the moment you had explained this to me, I was like, this is what we need, and we being the industry, right? Because we're already past capacity anyway. As business owners, we've got our plates are overflowing because, and this is a whole different concept, but because no one can do it like we do, and so we just like hoard all of these tasks. We're like, I'm not giving any of them away because nobody does like I do it. So then you go to hire, and you're like, ugh, I don't know, like I don't have the time to sit down and really vet, these people, and which leads to $500 charges on Indeed, right? If
Yes.
we we it's funny that must be a number of theirs where that's like a billing threshold because we got hit with one of those. It was like $511 because
Yep.
we got inundated with bids, with job site or on-site jobs, with this and that and the other, and we missed the 72-hour window on a ton of them. Now, here's what we found too. Like you said, Indeed brings a large pool to you in the very beginning to say these are all the people that we think meet these criteria.
Right.
And on the other side, the applicants can auto apply. So they can say, hey, if you find a job that's kind of like mine, go ahead and auto apply for it. So in the beginning, we got 30 or 40 applicants right off the bat. And we weren't set up to go through 30 or 40 applicants on top of whatever else we were doing, right? So $511 later, we were like, okay, whoa, we got to pump the brakes on this. We got to figure this out. And it's a lot. It's a lot to try to figure out. And that was with one platform. That was just with Indeed. That wasn't with ZipRecruiter, Monster, LinkedIn, any of them, right? So those each have their own nuances, let's say. This posting has been nice.
What I love too is there's a Matt there that at HireClick, and he actually helped us change a few words. Fence industry guys tend to just think, oh, I need a fence guy. Well, no. You don't. You need a guy that can understand a tape measure, understand quality control, that can show up every day, be responsible, and that wants to go out there and grind it and make a good living. And I'm telling you, Matt helped us change a few keywords, and just like that, we have like 3 more people in our application pool. This, Joe, I hope that 15, 20 people this weekend go on and give this a try. I'm hoping that hundreds of people out there that you're talking to, and not just in the fence industry, in any industry out there, anybody that's looking, HireClick can do it. And go to this link. And if you go through the mySalesman portal, you're going to get locked in. No matter how big or small your company is, you're going to go through this portal, and it's going to be $99. Scott's very passionate. Scott, the first time him and I met, he's like, holy cow, you're full of energy. And I'm like, well, when I see something that is going to save us thousands of dollars, I instantly get excited. Plus, how do you grow revenue? You have to have people. You have to bring it on. And this is a terrible video that I made. I'm
Can
embarrassed.
we watch it?
Oh my goodness, it's awful.
Let's give it a watch.
Hello, mySalesman customers. I have some exciting news to share with you. mySalesman has partnered with a new company out there called HireClick. HireClick is a software company that goes across all the platforms. It goes across Indeed and Monster and Facebook. It goes across all of them. It's one monthly fee, but it covers all of them, and there's no hidden fees to that. As people apply for jobs and come to you, you don't have to pay an extra cost. This is going to be a ginormous savings for you. Please call us or reach out to mysalesman.com for more information about HireClick. Hello, mySalesman customers. I have some exciting news.
No, not again, Joe.
I'll just leave that on a loop for the rest of the episode.
I'm somewhat embarrassed, but also I was so excited to get something out for your audience that if they go to this and they click on it and try it, what I also love is I love working with genuine people. And from
Yeah.
the moment that I talked to these people, they were all very genuine. They remind us so much of the mySalesman team, where we legitimately want to help you, and
Yeah.
we want to save you time and effort in the industry on the front end, and we want you going on the best leads. We want you getting the best applicants also. And here's what's weird: Midwest company,
Yep.
grassroots. They've built this brick by brick, just like mySalesman. They've never taken on any outside money. They're not owned by anybody but some people in South Dakota. Our platform, by the way, Joe, mySalesman went to the first 125 to 150 fence companies. We went to their location and
Yep.
met with them. That's how we built this, our mySalesman, brick by brick. When I got onto their website, and I'm like, oh my goodness, their colors are even similar to our colors. God is good, man. This is a great time. And I know that hiring is such a grind, and managing the posts and managing everything is so grueling. I hate it.
Yeah.
And this is going to make that, it's not going to take it away, but it's going to make it so much easier.
Well, and that's the thing, it consolidates it, right? So, yeah, and it can be. I'm sharing our experience where we don't really have. We do have. We do have a lady that handles HR, but she also handles accounting, and she wears several hats around here, right? And so, she doesn't have dedicated time to just filter through each platform one at a time. Right, and so that's why we all kind of pitch in and go. I say we all, her, myself, and Sarah pitch in, try to get through it. But this consolidation, so the YouTube, I was like, let me tell you about our experience. So you told me about it, and you're like, you can reach out to this guy directly. I was like, well, I want to see what the experience is like, though. So I went on the website and I just sent an interest submission. Right, it's like, sign up here for more information, or fill this form out for more information. That was on a Saturday. They reached Monday morning, and it was like 8:30 in the morning. I had a phone call saying, hey, we'd love to get you some more information. We'd love to. We got pretty far into the phone call, and so she was like, we'll get you set up. We'll do this. We'll do that. No problem. We'll get you all squared away. We can get this up and running. We can have you up and running by tomorrow at the latest. It's like, I mean, Matt, from a software company perspective, like how difficult it is to turn new customers that quickly, just to build it up for them. It usually takes a minute, right? Yeah. So I was pretty surprised by that. Now, towards the end of the call, they did ask, well, how'd you hear about us? And I was like, well, okay. So Matt Warner on the show Saturday, and we're going to talk about it. And so then, but up to that point, they had no idea who I was, right? I was just another guy that was interested in the software. You want to talk about rolling out the red carpet? They answered all the questions, and they were just legitimately good to work with, I think.
So they had no idea what they were getting when they signed us up. And I when I see something that I like and that I want, man, I just pounce. And I loved it from the moment I saw it. And I said, matter of fact, before the interview was even done, Melanie and Luke were in the meeting. I was like behind the scenes, because Melanie is HR. Luke is we call him the guardian of our culture. He is our interviewer. He goes through the applicants. I really don't like having Melanie be the applicant person, because she's so busy with HR. She doesn't have the pulse of the company of what we need. And we are growing. We're getting pretty big. So it's Luke's job actually to go around and make sure that he understands what everybody wants, where they'll fit. Maybe we can move a guy from this side of the business to this side of the business and have him be more successful. Putting the right person on the right seat of the bus is so important, that I think sometimes you even have to look at the bus and go, you'll be more successful if we move you over to here. Can you give it a try? Yeah. And then also be willing to say, you know what? I'm in the wrong seat of the bus. I shouldn't be doing this. I need to move over here to this other seat on the bus so we can all travel better. So Melanie Melanie is obviously she's HR, and she is so passionate about our company having good culture also, that it's important that she has it, or that she's involved. But Luke is the guardian of our culture.
Nice. Yeah, we've had a great experience with them so far. So, and to test it, so for the YouTube editor, it's Braden and I kind of teaming up on this, but no Sarah, no Holly. I was like, I want to see, can like one or two people manage all of these? Because it was, remember with the admin, it was three of us, and we were still missing. Like there's still some falling through the cracks because we tried to divide and conquer like by platform, but that's when we figured out there was like duplication. So we're like, oh wait, you have that person, I have that person. Okay, all right, well, let's get back to the drawing board. So I was like, you know what? I bet one or two people, if it's a singular platform, I bet we could get through it. And yeah, sure enough, it's been good. But one thing we found out is you have to be very specific about where you're hiring for, because these get so broad. These go out everywhere, right? The job postings go out everywhere. Well, and especially, and this is probably related to the position of like a YouTube editor, where we're hiring on site, and we put the location down in Springfield, Missouri, but we did not specifically say this is not a remote position. So if anyone's looking for editors outside of the United States, you just let me know, because I've got about 50 of them that I mean, I would like scan the resume, like. Obviously, they weren't a good fit, but I'd scan for just to see skill. There's a lot of skilled people out there looking for editing work, but that's something that I could do though. And it takes. I dedicated about 20 minutes a morning to just scanning through, and many mornings it didn't take that long. But yeah, so it makes it more manageable.
And we made the same mistake. We had a couple of projects in Omaha. We have a very large project that we're looking to ramp up on, so we just picked Omaha. Well, we also had to go back and add Lincoln and add some of the surrounding towns, because driving 40 minutes is not that big a deal for most people. So
sure.
We had to open that up. But I will tell you too, I mean, I've had people move here from other states. So looking abroad or looking outside of your area is not a bad idea. And, matter of fact, Edgar and Norma have been with me now, I'm going to say probably close to 10 years. And I got them out of Colorado, and they were working for a fence company that was in transition of ownership, and they weren't happy, and they wanted to move anyhow. So they called me, and we sat down an interview, and they came, and they've been with me ever since. Nice. I firmly believe that you have to be willing to every once in a while roll the dice and say, yeah, let's give this a shot. Let's see what it looks like to move them here. And now they live in our hometown, and they're part of our community, and they're great people. But HireClick, fence industry, please click on this mySalesman link. You'll get the deal. Whether you have, it does increase in prices for different things, but I'm telling you, we've got it locked in with them. And mySalesman and HireClick are partnering to try to bring this to the fence industry and other industries. We are looking at the roofing industry, which mySalesman is going to be going into the roofing industry soon. We're going into pressure washing. We're going into staining. Caleb uses this. I'm excited to share this with Caleb. I really haven't told anybody about this because I wanted to get the best negotiated deal for our community that I could. And I wanted to also bring more value with the mySalesman team. So if you need some help with this, feel free to reach out to mySalesman also. Our team is very abreast of what's going on here. They'll help you. Kelsey, Casey, Rachel, they will always answer the phone and take care of you. But I'm telling you, HireClick, it's like we're related already. They just take such good care of their customers, and it's an amazing. You're gonna have a great experience. And if you don't, there's no contract. Drop them.
Yeah, it's month to month.
But I'm telling you, folks, you need to be looking year round.
Yeah,
you need to constantly be looking for good people.
Well, and that's where that site comes in, right? So one, you can have specific job postings like YouTube editor, team member, admin, whatever, but then also just a general application, because you never know who's coming across your site and who's looking for a new position. But
So Joe, we made a mistake on our website. We had a PDF form on there. I didn't realize how tough that was for people to print that off, fill it out, and scan it, get it back. So now that we have HireClick, we're going to be just putting that right in there where people can just apply right on their phone on your application. This needs to go out to all the people. My next big project is to get it in front of Benji at down there.
Clever Fox, yeah.
Yep. And to get it in front of Sam and the whole entire Fence Academy gang. And I want to, I want to reach out to Caleb and get this to the staining industry. And this, I really think this is going to help us. Not only do you need to be going on the best leads possible, but you want to have a pool of people to look for also.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's answer a few questions here, and I'm going to try to scroll up to the top because there was one we absolutely need to talk about real quick. Well, Aaliyah said HireClick is great. They started using it a month ago. Very good, very good.
Good.
Walt Dennis just says, "Woo!"
Oh yeah,
he's met you. He's met you. Come to find out.
Oh yeah, I like that. Hey, now tell for the people that signed up, if they want to go to the mySalesman link, or if they want to tell the HireClick team that they're through the mySalesman team too. I mean, they'll if they have. So if you have so many people, it goes up. But for us, it's locked in. It's the same price no matter what.
Nice. So this was the comment. So Robert said this sounds great for medium to large size fence companies, but then goes on to say for a smaller 1 to 5 man, this would be tough to utilize as they would typically only be hiring a guy in spring, maybe a second during summer. So seasonally, right?
So I have an answer for that. Are you ready, Joe?
I am.
So Scott and I were talking this week. Not only is mySalesman going to change our business model of how we charge. What do you call that? Our charging rate.
Yeah. Subscription rate, maybe.
But we're going to team up with HireClick, and we're going to come up with that. If you are a 1 to 3 business size, it's going to be an annual fee. You're going to pay one lump sum and you get it for the whole year. And we're going to try to make it so doggone affordable that it's just a no-brainer. And we're trying to figure out how many months do you start looking for somebody before you actually need them. So let's say you need them in April. Let's say April 1st. You probably need to start in January. So we're going to make this like a $500 to $600 annual subscription that you pay one, and you get both mySalesman and HireClick for those people that are starting out, mostly because there's nobody out there like that understands the pain of being a startup company like we do, Joe. I mean, you're doing your wireworks now. I'm the man in the arena right now in our fab shop. Our fab shop was growing and it was we were doing all kinds of cool things. We had lots of opportunities, but we were losing money. So in the steal the words from Theodore Roosevelt, I had to go be the man in the arena because I was the man in the stadium pointing to the arena, say, you need to do this better. You need to do this better. You need to do this better. So I just finally jumped over the wall, ran across, and I picked up a sword and I started fighting with these guys and gals, with Colleen and Dustin and Alex and all my guys out there. I finally said, I've got to get in the arena. I've got to go live it with these guys. So I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and being at work at 5 o'clock, and I'm in the arena. I also think when we're hiring, we need to be in the arena, and we need to understand that has to start way before you actually need somebody. So Scott, the co-founder of HireClick, and I are going to make an announcement in probably the next month or so of a 1 to 3 or maybe 5 person company to help you out. But the problem is once you get to 5, you're like, oh, well, the fees are going to go up. Well, we're trying to figure out that balance of how that works. And for the most part, I don't get too worried about that. I figured honesty is best policy, and if somebody's going to take advantage of it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's kind of like littering. It's that Jiminy Cricket in the back of your head. But
Absolutely.
uh, I think this is a great opportunity. Please stay tuned. I you know what, Joe? I'm going to make the announcement on your show in the next month.
Done.
I will put this together.
Okay.
Friends in the industry, I don't want to nickel and dime you. I want to make a living.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. And I want to grow our company. But I want to be the most affordable, powerful, best customer service tool in the industry. And hire, I really believe in this thing. Let's make this great for the fence industry, and I will do my best to make it affordable for everybody.
Well, and I think that comes through that comes through with mySalesman, right? So I've been telling Rachel now for probably 2 or 3 years, like for the value I receive, I feel like you should probably charge me more. Now, I'm not going to complain if you don't, right? Like feel free not to, but if there was an increase, it would make sense to me, right? So, and I've been saying that, like I said, for a couple of years because I was like, I equate a lot of things to a tank of gas, right? Like, what does a tank of gas cost? Because that's something I see every week at the fuel pump. Tank of gas is going up, but with mySalesman, and we've had this conversation, but with mySalesman, I really feel like we save a tank to tank and a half of gas at least a month, just not running around to see tire kickers, right? So,
right.
And I've been saying, like I said, I've been saying that for a while. So to hear you say that you're not wanting to nickel and dime people, I think you've been living that. I don't think you guys are saying that. I think you've been living that through the pricing plans you've got for mySalesman. So I'm excited to see this come as well. So Chris had a question. So how many active users or applicants are on HireClick? So no one's actually on HireClick. So HireClick is going out to the Indeeds, the LinkedIn's, your Facebook. They're all these hiring pages also. So they're pushing the job out to these on all these different platforms, and then they're pulling in the applicants, right?
Yes.
So they're pushing the job listing, pulling the applicants. So this the beautiful part is they're not trying to build a whole new platform, right? They're just aggregating the listings and the applicants. So you get to take advantage of all of the people that are living on all these different platforms.
Right. So you have unlimited user and applicant storage room. So like you could have 50, 60 people in there. Plus you can use it across your entire company. I mean, it is so extremely nice to have everything organized and have a consistent message and have a consistent brand out there. And consistency is key, folks. There's a lot in business, and oh my gosh, I'm getting so nervous because I see we're going to be 2 minutes. It's going to be 1 hour, and I don't want to bore anybody with my going on and on and on. But I'm telling you, the key to us, Joe. How long have we known each other? How long have you been familiar with Matt Warner?
Years is an easy statement to make. I don't know, 7, 8 years, 9 years, maybe.
Okay, so
maybe more.
8 years ago, we had 15 people, 15 team members. I'm fairly confident we're at 91 right now.
Nice.
And I'm telling you that the key, not that I wish that upon anybody, because it's a very much a blessing, but it's a lot to hold on to, a lot to manage. But the only reason why I can do that is because I have found great people to come along beside me. You've met my team. I'm very passionate about surrounding myself with great people. And you know how I find those great people?
How's that?
I never, ever stop looking. I never stop looking for key people. I'm always trying to figure out a way. Ooh, I like that person's demeanor. I like that person's handshake. Ooh, I like how that person just conducted a very stressful situation in their life. I bet they would fit in good with us doing this. I'm always doing this. And it's a problem. I
Sure.
can't stop. I can't stop thinking about it. I love business. I'm so passionate about it, but building fence is not what I'm that passionate about. I probably just totally messed up because this is a fence expert show. But I build fences mostly so I can surround myself with great people. And I'm passionate about the people that are in our family, in the industry. I have so many friends. Last Wednesday I did a show with Dan Blanc.
Mhm.
He's a great friend. Dan and I talk quite often. Cannon and I talk. You and I talk. I mean, you and I've had some incredibly deep conversations that hit home to the heart
Yeah.
that I don't
Yeah.
share with anybody but you. Um,
I appreciate that.
there's some things that we do that we have to be able to manage our time, and HireClick and mySalesman. That's what I'm trying to get on. I'll shut up now. But I just want everybody to know that this is an incredible tool. Please give it a try. And if you don't like it, throw it away.
Sure.
Just like mySalesman. If mySalesman does not bring you a value, then teach us a lesson and throw it away. By the way, I tell my people the same thing. Make yourself more valuable. You want to make more money in our company? Make yourself more valuable. And if I don't recognize that you deserve more money, then go somewhere else and stick it to me. That'll teach me, because I
Yep.
need to learn to appreciate people better. If
Sure.
I'm not doing that now, I would hope that that doesn't happen, because I really try to be aware. But I also know that I can't always just pay everybody what they want,
Sure.
but I have to pay them what they're worth. So make yourself
Makes
more
sense.
valuable.
I like it. I like it a lot. We've covered a lot of ground here, Matt. We've covered a lot of ground, but the overall theme is that you've partnered up with HireClick to offer a locked-in price for basically not just a fencing community, right? But for all the communities that we interact with, whether it's fencing or staining, soft washing, cleaning, you're getting into roofing. For if you've got this link, if you click on the link, and for those of you listening on the podcast, check out our YouTube page. I will leave it in the description of the YouTube video of this recorded live. So for those of you watching live, it's in the comments. I'll also, when this goes to recorded, I will make sure that the link is in the description. Anyway, so $99 a month or $999 a year. We will be. I'll be honest. I did the monthly just to get started, because I've done it the other way a few times where I go so I believe in it so much. I think this is a problem with how I hire people too. Is I don't know. I put myself into them, so I was like, oh man, if I had these opportunities, I would be great. I think that they're going to be awesome, and this and that, and then maybe that doesn't happen, right? So I do that with software sometimes as well, where I'm like, this is going to be awesome. This is exactly how it's going to work. It's going to work for us, and you get into it, and you're like, well, it didn't do those things.
Right.
So I started with the monthly, but Sarah and I had this conversation yesterday after just going through the process, and I was like, we need to just punch this into the budget. This needs to be just an annual expenditure that gets racked up to software expense, because it's, to your point, we need to be hiring consistently all year round, and there's no reason not to use it year round. And here's another benefit of it that we learned. So you had said they don't charge per user, they don't charge per applicant or anything like that. So the applicants stay in the system, and you can leave notes, and you can interview notes or anything. So we had a guy come in. Name wasn't familiar. Name wasn't familiar. So I walk up. They said that hey, your 9:00 interviews here, and so I let Sarah know, and I let Matt know, and I said okay. So I went up to get him, and I was like, when I walked up front, I was like, man, this guy looks familiar. But I mean, if you're in the service industry, fencing, washing, staining, whatever, long enough, everyone looks familiar for one reason or another. So walked up and introduced myself to him, and he goes, "Oh yeah, we've met before." Oh, okay. Well, where'd we meet? He said, "Oh well, I actually applied for another position here." He's like, "But he goes, what did he say?" He goes, "But I'll be honest, that interview just didn't go very well. But I'm really looking forward to this one." Okay.
Wow.
All right. And I'm the king of cutting people a lot of slack. So like if you're saying the interview didn't go well and we didn't put give you if we didn't extend an offer, then I'm not sure how today's going to go. But we'll see. And it was probably 3 minutes into the interview, and it was when you work with people long enough, you know what their signals are, right? So I was looking around
Yep.
at Sarah and Matt, and like, this is a no, because, and this is probably a different conversation of how to conduct yourself in interviews, but so we're looking at her like, oh, well, tell me about such and such that you worked at. He goes, well, let me tell you, boss was a major jerk. I had a big issue with him, and we just butted heads the whole time. And I mean, because listen, I know what I know what I can do, and I know what I should be doing. And all he wanted to do was just sit there and tell me what to do. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know that this is gonna be the ideal fit.
Right.
But you also don't cut an interview off 2 or 3 minutes into it. So it's like,
Yeah, I think so too. And it is funny. The interview process is so funny because, for instance, the other day, I saw a young man walk in our hallway, and holy cow, he looked awesome. Hair was combed, shirt done. So I walked over and I said, "Hey, can I? Is there a copy of his resume? And what job's he applying for?" I thought maybe he was applying for like an office position.
Mhm.
Come to find out, he's 19 years old. He's applying for just a fence installer. No, I shouldn't say just a fence installer, but
yeah,
more of a labor type position. I opened the door immediately. I walked right in. I said, "I'm Matt Warner." He introduced himself. I shook his hand. I went, "Oh, great handshake." I kind of looked at him a little bit. I looked at Luke and I said, "He's hired." And Luke goes, "Well, we just got," I said, "I don't care. You went to this much effort to
Yeah.
look this good, to carry yourself this well. And I looked at your resume and you hand printed it and took your time, and it's legible, and you signed it and you put your name at the top. You're in." We hired him. He's
Yeah.
with us right now.
Yeah.
But so for me, how you which you're right, I don't want to go off on a bunny trail here. It's so
Sure.
important for any listeners out there that if you want to make more money, make yourself more valuable
Yeah.
on
Yep.
your own time. Do some effort or apply some effort to your life skills, because $18 an hour might be what they're willing to pay for a labor, but they're willing to pay more for a great labor, for
Sure.
somebody that'll take initiative, somebody that'll make sure that all the tools are picked up, somebody that's studying the prints, somebody that is learning how to read blueprints, somebody that wants to apply themselves. I really think that society, we've got wrapped up into this minimum wage, blah 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 blah. I want to think of it as, what's the maximum wage?
Sure. Yeah.
But how much $18 an hour is what they're willing to pay you for what you're doing. But they will pay more for if you're willing to apply more skills. So
Sure.
make yourself more valuable, and don't be afraid to let people recognize that.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being arrogant and cocky and communicating a skill set.
Yeah.
If you want to communicate to me, if you come in and say, "Hey, Matt, I've been studying these prints and I've been getting really good at reading them," instantly I'm like, "Whoa, why are you studying these prints?
Sure.
That's not even in your job." "Well, I want to learn more." And you want to learn more? Great. Then we want to plug you in. We want people
Yeah.
that want to go. I know we need to go, but I want to tell you, there's a young man. His name's Wade. I shouldn't probably use his name, right? I used to call him Boy Wonder.
Okay.
And at first, people would always be like, "Yo, we call him Boy Wonder because he's great or whatever." And I would say, "No. It's because I always say, Boy, I wonder where he's at,' because he was never at his desk." and and
Okay.
and uh and he was always kind of a hot mess, and I was always teasing him of, "Hey, come on, let's get this going. It's time for you to stop drinking milk and eat. You need to start eating cheeseburgers." So I used to always say this. So he left us, went to work for a construction company as an estimator, got promoted to a project manager. He stopped in the other day, and apparently he talked to Scott. He did not talk to me, so I'm getting this secondhand. But he said, "Wow, I learned a lot here, and I even learned more at that next job." He made himself more valuable, and he
Perfect.
got better. And always knew he was a great kid. He just had to get more wisdom and knowledge. At 21 years old, we got to learn more. But okay,
Matt,
I'll
I
share.
think I know what we're going to talk about next time.
Okay, what is
I
it?
think we're going to talk about what makes an ideal team member.
Oh, I love it.
Because that's kind of what we're talking about right now, right?
I
And I
love
think
it.
that's going to be in a whole entire conversation on its own, is from both sides, right? From the ownership management side, but also from just a team member, from the co-team member perspective.
Including me.
Yeah.
Including me. Including I told so we stole an idea from you. We have a final Friday meeting, but it's just Scott, Jamie, and I. And we
Okay.
call it our final Friday. We meet at the end of every month, and the three of us, we go away for 4 hours off campus,
Well,
and we just catch up, because I didn't realize how valuable it was that us three are communicating.
Yeah.
But I also didn't realize that I wasn't being a good employee to the company. I wasn't communicating to them where I was going or what I was doing, or they would hear about me talking about it on a podcast. And they're like, "What are we doing over there? Why didn't you tell us?"
Yes.
And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I am not communicating to my we call ourselves the three-legged stool." By the way, I think a three-legged stool is a great way to build a business. I've looked at a lot of businesses, and the Seegers, which if you study the Seegers and then you study the empires, you're going to see a lot of similarity there.
Sure.
Well, they got Bobby, John, and Ben.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Matt, Scott, and Jamie.
I love it.
I mean, I literally, why reinvent the wheel? But
right.
Hey, I don't want this to run on too long, Joe.
No, you're fine.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for allowing us, being a supportive of mySalesman. And I also noticed you're wearing the USS brand, which is a new company that we started 3 years ago. Ron Dubas is a partner with that, and he runs the day-to-day. If you want to grow your business, please let us know. What we would love to help you. The Unlimited Sports Solutions is they make great products, and they're very hands-on.
And we've got a video coming out with them. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Two, I want to tell people that we really are passionate with the mySalesman team on taking good care of you, answering our phone. I take it so incredibly serious that we answer our phones and that we respond to you. So, and if you ever need anything, you can. I'm also going to start dropping or start doing a every other month webinar.
Okay.
Where I'm going to pull some questions from just the mySalesman customers out there of what are some of the problems out there. And I'm going to hop on for 30 or 40 minutes and say, here's the questions we had out there. Here's how other people are combating them. We have so many fence companies now that we reach out to them. We say, how are you doing this? We use you all the time. Matter of fact, we're going to surprise you and ask you to come on and talk about how you're using it, because we want our mySalesman people to be as efficient and as responsive to their customers as they can. The third and last thing I want to tell you, it's Holy Week next week.
Yeah.
Big deal to me. As a believer, I think that you have to keep yourself grounded. And this is the week that I get to do that.
Very good. Very good. This is it. This is
good.
It'll be a good week. It'll be a good week. No, so Unlimited Sports Solutions. So we have a video coming out in the near future. We shot a video at FinStech about how easy the pads are to put on, because so Ron was saying, he was like, listen, he goes, one of the most common thing we hear fence guys talk about is they don't want to do padding because it's so difficult. They think it's really difficult to install and this and that. And I was like, Yeah, I think I can understand that because that's what I'm thinking right now. Like, my guys are fence guys. They're not really like padding guys. And this, and he goes, okay, well, can you do that? And this will make more sense when you watch the video. But he's like, he just pulled it off the track system. He's like, can you put this on?
Right.
I was like, well, I kind of fit it around there and it clicked into place. And he's like, all right, now you're a padding guy. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, all right. I guess I think we can do this.
I
So
love it.
then I was having a conversation. So we've got the major league affiliate for the St. Louis Cardinals is the Springfield Cardinals, or the
Yep.
minor league affiliate, however, whichever one. But we're unique in that St. Louis owns Springfield. So most major league clubs don't own their minor league affiliates. We're a little
Right.
bit of a unique situation. They do anyway. So we do their fencing and all sorts of stuff. And so they're the building and grounds manager. That's not their title. The VP of building and grounds or something. He was over talking about some latches we're working on with him, and I was like, "Hey, well, I got you. We can do padding. We can do netting. We can I know the guys. We can do padding. I'm still a little nervous about the netting, so we'll partner up on whatever that looks like. But yeah, so it gave me just clicking that padding gave me the confidence to go to these guys and say, hey, listen, whatever you need, we can figure it out. And here's a big thing: is USS is a Major League Baseball. Is it approved vendor? Is that the terminology?
Yeah. So, well, we do basically the company that does all the work for them whenever they decide to do like the Field of Dreams or like in Panama or in London. The company that does all that for them that is general contracted, we are their preferred supplier. So
Preferred supplier. Okay.
I don't know if I can literally say the MLB, but
Okay.
basically yes. And you know what? We do lots of jobs in the NFL, the major. Well, I believe we're getting ready to do a job for the Dallas Cowboys. So I mean, we're
Nice.
and that's a fence company. That's a fence company that's going to do the work. We're only going to
Really?
ship that to them. Here's the other thing too: is Empire has cut their teeth on netting. We really are a netting company that does fencing commercially and in the backyards. Um, with that being said, I really think that a lot of things that we do should be shared, and I want to get them out there. So we pushed them off to the USS brand, and we will coach you. If anybody out there wants to try a padding job, a netting job, putting up dugouts are a great ROI, by the way. They go fast. The guys like doing them. We will coach you along in anything that you're doing there. We have videos that we're making. Ron this week was actually out on a new product that we have. It's a retrofit steel dugout roof that you can take just a regular chain link, give us the dimensions, we make a top for you, and then you can fit on. So it's so it has a cover that's steel, and that works at any part
Nice.
of the wreck. Now, could you imagine? There's not a lot of fence guys out there that are probably thinking they can do that. So if you're a forward thinker and you want to go to
Mhm.
your local park and rec and say, hey, we can put a cover on this and it's not very expensive, and our fence company can do that, that's work that
Yep.
you get to negotiate.
Oh, sure.
Negotiated work is way more fun than public bid work.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of our model on the commercial side. We don't generally participate too much just open bidding scenarios because those are our experience. Those are always a race to the bottom.
Right,
And
it is.
it's not it doesn't really meet our model of what we're
Right.
wanting our business to look like. But no, that's man, I got off on a tangent there. I got you started
No.
on the USS, but
No.
it's a great company. So I'm excited to work with them on. They've got so right now. Well, anyway, so it's on the horizon. It's not a
Good.
short term. They've got to meet standards. So Major League Baseball has standards that they put on minor league teams of what the stadium should look like and what amenities they should have and things like that. So they're working through a checklist now.
Yeah, a checklist that equates to a point system. And if you don't get enough points, then you cannot be an affiliate. And
Yes.
it's super important for their franchise. It's no different than a Chick-fil-A has to have so many things that they have to do to be a Chick-fil-A affiliate.
Sure.
Minor League Baseball has the same thing too. That the Major League Baseball had said, this is our standard. This is how we're going to do things. We're going to say my pleasure instead of no problem, essentially. So that's what they're doing. And Ron is really studying that. Ron is a huge baseball geek, but we're also, I should have said probably geek. Geek is a good term, by the way, not a bad
term of endearment. Yeah.
Yes, it is. But with that being said, if anybody out there needs it, mostly I wanted to come on the show to talk about HireClick because it is super important. But our brands are using it, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, we're 1 week in and have already seen a very nice result from it. So, and especially at the price point, like if it continues on the way I think it's going to continue on, it'll be a lot like mySalesman, where I'm like, listen, I'm not going to ask you to charge me more, but you probably could, and I wouldn't squeak too loud about it, just in terms of value for dollars. But
I'm excited about it. Very good.
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. Matt, you got a volleyball game to get to. And
I do. And I know that your listeners are very patient about going through the, listening, but I also, I'm passionate about trying to help people save time and money and get a good ROI. So with that being said, I love it. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on, Joe. I can't wait to come on again, and we'll talk some more. So you just let me know whenever you want me to come on and do my rants. I'm happy to do that for you.
I'm gonna send you a link. It's a Calendly link, and it'll just show you my open availability. And so usually the links are like a one-time use link because I don't want someone to like but I'm going to send you an open link because it literally, like, whatever you want to talk about, I am here to talk about it. Because so you had said earlier that you and I have private conversations just about a myriad of things, and some of them fits related, some of them just life related. Right. I would like to bring those types of conversations here. Now, some of them we can't have here, but we can probably have general versions of those conversations here. What does an ideal management team look like? Because I mean, we're growing, right? And I think in this economy, there's a lot of fence companies that are growing. So I think the questions that I have, other people are going to have too as they're growing. And you're obviously, I like to look down the path and see who's come before me down this path and try to like holler up at them, say, hey, are there any potholes coming up? Like, should I avoid anything? What do I need to know? And you've been really good at guiding me down this path. So, it's an open link. Absolutely. Well, I'd love to have you on.
Well, and as I learn things, I love to share it with my friends in the industry. One thing right now I'm learning is cost segregation and what that means. And for those of you out there that are growing your business, you're going to get to a certain point at some point in time that you're going to look back and say, oh my goodness, we're doing really well, but how do I hold on to this money and not get into a crazy high tax bracket? And there's some very, very lucrative things to do that the government wants to encourage us to do because it creates property tax, it creates evaluation taxes, it creates other tax groups, not just income tax. And income tax is one way of doing it. So, oh my goodness, I gotta stop.
This was one of the conversations, and so we were talking about building a building, and actually, I was just sitting back and listening. It was you and someone else that was with us. We were all having a conversation, and what's funny is, he is now building a building. And so we were kind of chatting about it. He's like, man, when Matt was talking about, it was about interior versus exterior electric wiring and furnishings, and about how they're depreciated differently. He's like, I talked to my accountant and she looked into it, and it's amazing. Like, and that wasn't something that he had known or that she would have told him, but for being in, and this happened in an Uber on the way to a cigar shop.
It did. Into a Pizza Hut turned cigar bar. That was fabulous, by the way. We had a little bourbon and a wonderful cigar, and they gave us our own private room. And I remember your YouTube guy, Braden.
He's right here.
He's gonna be like, damn it, Matt, get my name right. I thought we were going to bore him to death, and he's sitting there going, "No, I love this," but
Yeah.
that is also part. Oh shoot, I forgot one more thing about HireClick.
Okay.
So one thing that we started doing is we do a behavioral analyst test. It's called a PI, and at first I was 100% against it. I did not support the idea. Luke, the guardian of our culture, came to me. Him and Melanie came to me with this idea of having people do it. And what it is you fill out, you pick so many words. Yes, I know.
Is this? Does it have bus in the name? Because you
Bus?
said, I think we're using the same thing, where you pick out different words to describe you, and then it gives you a chart.
Yes. Yeah, I can't
Hire
think
bus.
of the name of it. Is that what it is?
Hire bus.
So we put
Or
that
that's
link,
one we use. I don't want to just, but it sounds exactly the same. Sorry.
Yeah, so we put that link on our HireClick. So we want people, when they fill our application, to go ahead and just do that right away, because that way we get that with their application, because we really want to get them to the top the fastest. So, and we also recognize that, just like with mySalesman, that if you don't want to follow our process, we probably don't want to install your fence. It's the same thing with hiring, that if you oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to get more water. I'm so excited. If you don't follow our process, then you're probably not going to be a good fit for our culture.
Right.
No matter how talented you are.
It gives you a chart, right? So we put all of our team members through it, because we said we like this group of people we have. We need to find more people like us. And so we put them all through it. And so now we have a chart and it's just different behavioral just avenues, right?
Thank
you.
Jamie, click on Jamie's thing.
Predictive index. Oh, okay.
That's who we use.
Interesting.
We call it the PI. It's PI, predictive index. It's wonderful.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm sure there's more of them out there, Joe. But
sure.
And you know what? And this PI is not for the 1 to 5 person company. It's for the company that's getting around 10 to 15 to 90, because now we have to make sure that personalities and fit and keep a good culture. You have to be aware of personalities, and you have to be that. Thank you, Jamie, by the way. Jamie was going out for a run, and I'm hoping that we helped him with his run, because usually if he knows I'm going to get on and talk, he'll go for a run, because he's like, it at least kills time. You bored me to death. It kills time. But
so here's how we use that is, so it gives us a chart of our, if we're hiring for a team member for the shop. Now we'll look at all the people in the shop. What their charts all look very similar, by the way, in terms of just, criticality, self-starting. Like there's a bunch of different keystones it uses. And so now when we're looking at, before we schedule the interview, we just plug them in and compare it with this person, and it'll overlay everyone's charts. And we're like, ooh, wait a minute. Their chart is like really off of our charts. So there might not be a good personality fit.
Yeah, it is, Joe. I'm telling you, there's tricks to hiring. There's tricks to avoiding tax bracket. I am sorry. I don't know who this is, but thank you for signing up for mySalesman. I'm willing to bet you my team knows who you are. So thank you so much. We are very proud of that product. And
I thought you'd like to see that. Not to ruin your moment here, but I thought you'd like to see that.
But I do think that there's tricks to it. There's tricks to forecasting. There's tricks to figuring out how many people we really do need, or if we're heavy in the office, or if we're heavy. There's all these little tricks. I'm Polish. I'm not the smartest guy. I tell people all the time, there was 112 kids in my class. I graduated 110. I need tricks to help me get things. And they're not really tricks. They're just ways to kind of do a checks and balance of, are we okay here? And folks, that's what I think is so also valuable about all these different podcasts with Dan Wheeler and Jay Downs,
and
I'm sorry, Nathan Downs and you and Dan and Cannon and what Sean, all these personalities are just trying to share information out here with you. Which come and I love it when guys like you let me come on because I get to share a little bit what I learned and I don't have to put in all the work that you guys do.
Yeah, well, listen, I love having you on because we get to have conversations like this, and I get to find cool new stuff that, could we have found HireClick sooner or like eventually? Maybe, but now we found it sooner, right? Because you made the introduction, and it's just, like I said, it's going in our annual budget. So, yeah, whenever you would like to come on, it is an open invitation because we always end up with little tidbits like this that will really change our company moving forward.
Good. Yeah, I love it. I'm just a sponge constantly trying to learn. So thank you. And thank you to all the people out there that support these shows because that's what keeps them going so we can get on here and learn more together.
Absolutely. Matt, thank you so much. I do appreciate you coming on. I understand, it's a family weekend, so I understand you taking some time out of it for us.
I'm very excited and I can't express my gratitude.
Same. Well, guys, appreciate you guys tuning in. This will become a recorded live. If you're listening on the podcast, you can find it on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Joe Everest for the links to HireClick, to mySalesman's URL for HireClick, and to sign up for $99 a month or $999 a year, which, according to my math, is an even better deal.
That is. I love it.
Guys, until next time, I'm Joe Everest, a fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors. And I'll see you next week.